Hi, this is Vincent Arcuri. I had a viewer ask me about making my sourdough starter, and I'm going to give you an overview. I start out by purchasing on Amazon Need Ace Artesian Sourdough Starter. It comes with a little pack, and it comes with instructions. Upside down. Okay. Now what I use for this sourdough is rye flour because it has more nutrients. And I bought King Arthur, and this I got off also Amazon. All right, now here's the jars I use. And I'll show you where I get them. I get them also off on Amazon, and they were 14 and change each. Very good price. Comes with a nice lid. And it's a wide mouth jar where you can get your hand in right to the bottom to clean. And you need to purchase these little stirrers. And these I got when I purchased those other kits up there. They were kits. They came with sourdough. They came with a cover, the cloth cover to make the sourdough breathe. Right? But this seems to work okay. If you leave the lid not sealed, you leave it open so that the air gets in, like this. All right, now this I mixed up. This is about 3 days old already. And this is the way you do it. You start with your jar. 2 ounces of water, and I use, these scales are very inexpensive. I bought 2 of them. I have 2 of them. Amazon also. greatergoods.com, but on Amazon. And what I do, if I'm measuring the flour, I'll put 1 cup on there, and then I zero it out. Okay, so now anything I add will just come over here. Now, if they're calling for 3 ounces, I measure. Well, the way I do it is I take a 1/4 cup, and I take my flour, my rye flour, right out of the bag, and I'll put 3/4 cups in there until I get 3 ounces or 2 ounces, whatever it might ask for. Then I take this small cup, and I put this on, and I zero that out. And then I take this larger cup, and I fill it with, they say don't use tap water because of the chlorine. They say use bottled water. And I have a special filtration device in my house that makes alkaline water. It filters it, So I'll fill this up with that alkaline water, which is filtered and no chlorine in it. And then what I do is I take that and I put it into the microwave for maybe 40 seconds. And that makes it warm. And then you could use, if you have one, also these are available on Amazon. They're inexpensive. And they'll measure the temperature. Like that's the temperature of my coffee. Now that's too hot. 94 is okay, but that's too hot for the yeast. And so I got this zeroed out, and then I'll portion out 2 ounces or 3 ounces, whatever it might call out in here. And then I pour it into the jar, and I mix it up. I mix it up with one of these, right? And then anything that goes around the sides, you clean the sides of the jar with this. And then you follow the instructions. With this particular one, the sourdough is not a powder, it's chips. And there'll be whatever 0.1 ounce, whatever it is, a little bag with the chips. Initially, you put it in the jar, put the starter in it, and then you let it sit in there 3 hours, and every hour you stir it. And by 3 hours, usually it dissolves the chips. Usually took a little over 3 hours. I wanted them all dissolved, so it's a little longer than 3 hours. And that's the first step. And then after 3 hours, you add 2 ounces of flour, as it shows here. Then you wait 24 hours. Now also what I do is I mark using a dry marker. I mark on the jar. This way you can wipe it right off. Okay? And anybody, this is the, excuse me. And then as far as the cozy bread, I bought that off Amazon. Very nice. Here's the controller. Has a quite a long plug. Very long plug. And it shows the real temp, and then it shows the set temp. Now what they recommended in the little instruction, they say in here that usually the temperature is 10 degrees higher than the actual mat, and that their baker keeps the sourdough at 90 degrees. But it comes with nice instructions also. And then the fact that I couldn't buy this, I looked, and so I made it up myself. I made that up myself. It took an hour to sew out, and it's thick, very thick. Here's my setup. this pizza oven I recommend. Gets up to 840 degrees. And I make about 12-inch Napolitano pizzas. And I put semolina flour on this to launch the pizza into the oven once the oven's up to 840. See this particular, you plug it in initially, and then you could select Napolitano pizza, and it'll give you upper and lower temperature. There's the upper and lower element. And then you got to turn it every 20 seconds. And this is the peel I use to turn it. It's a 7-inch peel. And once it's cooked and the cheese is bubbling, I pull it out with this one. Vince LaCurie, and I thank you for watching.